For me, singing has like always been this lifelong dream. I was really lucky to have parents who were willing to put in a lot of effort to nurture that natural inclination into something amazing. When I was 8, I won a talent competition, which is quite similar to Britain's Got Talent in Australia. It was called Young Talent Time, and I won it singing Whitney Houston medley. I won $5,000 and that grand piano. It was that same year that my parents thought we should get her some proper training. It took a long time for my mom to find a voice teacher who would take on an 8-year-old to train classically, but she did find Amanda Culliver, and Amanda started training me singing Bach and Vakai and Haydn, and I felt it was unique and special. And so at 8, I decided I wanted to be an opera singer. I was 14 when I auditioned for LA Opera for a new one-act opera for the lead role of Miranda in Journey to Cordoba. And thankfully, I was a big success in it, and the piece was a big success, and LA Opera have been, in my life ever since. I went on to the Met in a very, very funny way. I ended up going to New York to sing in Les Miserables on Broadway. And while I was there, my mom had looked up all the eminent teachers in New York, and she said, Ruth Falcon is the one you have to sing for. And I went and I sang for her in her studio, and she then went, that's it. You can't leave from here. And in this strange half an hour, my entire fate changed. Suddenly, I was going to New York to study. I got the lead role of Susanna in The Marriage of Figaro in the first year of my schooling. The Met heard that performance, so I was invited by James Levine to come and sing on stage at the Met. I was offered a debut at the Met at 19 as Barbarina in a new production of The Marriage of Figaro with James Levine conducting, Cecilia Bartoli as Susanna, Renee Fleming as the Countess, Dwayne Croft as the Count, Suzanne Menzer as Cherubino, and Bryn Terfel as Figaro. And I mean, you couldn't have made that up. It was the stuff of dreams. I had auditioned for Glyndebourne in 2004 and was offered the role of Adela in Die Fledermaus. So I was scheduled to come here in 2006, and in 2005, Glyndebourne lost their Cleopatra due to illness and asked if I would come a year early. Of course, Cleopatra was a role I'd already done in Paris and in Amsterdam, and I leapt at this opportunity. This Cleopatra changed everything. It was a feeding ground for creativity. It was really very unique, and I always used to call it my Titanic moment, because I felt that Julius Caesar for me was like what Titanic was to Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. It was just this epic, iconic, career-making, landmark moment. My Glyndebourne debut happened in 2005, and I came back for other incredible shows like The Incarnation of Poppaea, and I was cast here as Adina in Elisir d'Amore. It was my first bel canto, and it started me thinking about characters that fall into these tropes. I mean, Adina is a character, for example, that could easily pass as the little Miss Madam at the beginning who, she falls in love and now she's changed her mind. Now she wants him. It's a rom-com. But actually, there's so much more to take when you dig a little deeper into these characters. It's what I love about getting in the rehearsal room. It's what I love about building slowly characters and tethering what's in the inside all the way out to the costuming, to the shape, to the fingertips. So I really liked finding these more profound qualities that could tether a whole character together. How do I prepare for a role? The first thing I do is look at the source material behind the opera. So if it's based on a libretto, for example, Beaumarchais, then I'm reading the Beaumarchais play. It goes into your pores, and it goes in, and it doesn't have to necessarily grow into something, but it is a layer of information. That's my joy. That is my detective work. So I feel like a detective when I go into a score. Translating, of course, I translate everything. I speak Italian and French now, but when I was 18 and I did my first Figaro, I didn't. And I translated 475 pages with an Italian dictionary, word for word. Very proud of it. It was arduous, but I was that kind of person, and I think I still am. I'm the kind of person that wants to know every scene, what's happening, and wants to know all the backstories of everybody, and not just going, what are my scenes and where am I present, but what is my purpose in a bigger story.